Right, I'm going to go put the light on.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Here we are, Tuesday morning, 16th of February, live from the epicentre of Howlands. Are we live on both, are we?
We are live on both.
Excellent.
So good morning. So I did a live this morning with my Magic 7 group and I didn't get any comments on Facebook until I was finished.
Ooh.
And it turned out they had been commenting. So apologies if you comment as we go through this. We're going to come back at the end. I don't know why. If you are on Facebook, do try and comment. Let us know you're there. See if it works. But we will come back to them, so it's not really ideal.
No, it's not. We can't respond on the moment.
But hopefully it works this time as we go through it. So this morning we're upbeating it a bit. We're going to be discussing success. Don't know how to turn. Yay, it's working on that one. Good morning, Louise. I don't know how we can Oh, maybe that's brighter.
Cartoon.
Amazing. So I think this morning we're upbeating it a bit. We're going to be chatting success. So this is something that we are both hugely passionate about, and you've spent pretty much your whole career supporting other people, whether through coaching or through you finding them the right job,
right future, right path.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also getting people accepting the right mindset for themselves for what that success looks like.
Good morning, Marjorie. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Margaret.
So
Ellen.
really, in a sense, I'll let you.
Oh, on you go.
So it's a case of you know what is success in a way, because one word can mean so many different kind of things, but I mean the simplest form of it is really the accomplishment of an aim or a purpose, for example.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So as simple as that. Success can appear in different ways for you to maybe give it a bit of a definition, but in terms of accomplishing an aim or a purpose, to me would be the easiest kind of simplest definition, which then in turn leads to what does that mean for you in that respect. So I think that'd be worth having a chat.
I'm laughing at Margaret's comment. She's saying, "Thank goodness you have a jumper on now. You made me feel cold this morning because I just mucked out 3 horses, Margaret, before I went live at 7." So I was a bit toasty. I just had my vest on. And our house is actually roasting today. We left the heating on last night, so it makes a change because normally it's freezing. Up here on our farm, when it's windy, the house is normally super chilly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's balmy now.
Exactly. So yeah, I like what you've said there. Like, to me, that wasn't even what I thought about when I thought about success, that accomplishment of an aim or purpose. And I think that that's really valuable for me. When coaching clients, I know that this is something that comes up quite a lot, where they don't feel that they're succeeding in life or that they're not successful, but actually what often happens is they are living their lives, and I've done this before myself, you're living your life like to somebody else's definition of success. So whether that be to get that car or that job or whatever it is, like that might not actually be your definition of success. So that's why it's important to really get clear on, and good morning, Melissa, good morning, Lisa, what your core values are. Because once you know, or even spending time journaling, I love to get my clients to do this, and I love doing this myself, to think about, okay, what does success look like to me? Because it might mean, and I know I've discussed this before, maybe not on here, but like one of the things for me was like to work 4 days a week, to have more time with my family, to make a home cooked meal, or like things like that. And it didn't actually require me to have more money or anything to do those things. It just required me to make the decision, right? Okay, I'm going to work 4 days a week. Yes, it means I'm probably going to earn less, but I'm actually going to be feeling successful in my own mind because that's what I'm doing.
Well, see, the thing with that in a way as well is that you were talking about doing several things successfully, as opposed to accepting that each thing you do in itself is the accomplishment of an aim or an improvement on a purpose that you've actually been trying to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is where the challenge always comes, because there's the internal. It's a thread through all things that we talk about. Is there's internal factors and external factors that we view to help us determine what success might mean for us.
Mm-hmm.
There's also negative and there's positive factors that can help us.
Like
determine.
what kind of things?
Well, negative, for example, John McEnroe, right? John McEnroe, I don't know if all the viewers will be old enough to know him. He was a famous tennis player back in the 70s, American guy, very bright, highly accomplished, tremendously successful. But when he came home from school with his maths results and he got 96%, his father said to him, "What happened to the other 4?" So, and that stuck with him forever. So that negative environment spurred him on to be uber successful externally. But internally, as it says in his book, is that he never quite felt it himself, the success, because that was a negative driving factor. So there can be...
Oh my gosh, you're totally speaking to me. Because that is exactly something that I have battled with, like, since being a teenager, like, never, like, being successful but not acknowledging it, just thinking either, okay, well, what next, or what could I have done better, what could I do better, what could I do better. Like,
so this is the realm where we get into the grey area of negative and positive, because you certainly need to be pursuing something in order to grow and develop and to accomplish. Equally, you need to find a way of acknowledging success that you've achieved on the way. And it's a case of measurement. Measurement can be positive and negative. And it's a case of what do we use as the measuring tools for ourselves to determine the level of success. For me, I've been a reasonably internal, self-driven individual. I've been a pursuer of information, I've been a pursuer of development. But what actually came in time when I started becoming involved in leadership was that my successes changed from me internally, personally being successful, to the successes that I was having with the people I was leading and developing and training and mentoring and managing. So their success
made you feel successful.
Yes. Yeah.
So how do you guys define success? What would success look like for you? Is this something you've thought about? You can just say, no, I've never even thought about it. Or, do you feel that your life feels successful? Or, sometimes I think this can be viewed as like kind of an egotistical thing as well, can't it? People will be like, oh, chasing success. But it's...
yes and no, because I think you need to be careful with that as well, because who are you, or who is anybody really to say to me, how dare I?
I know.
You know what I mean? Who is anybody to me to say, who do you think you are? Who is it? Who are anybody? The only people that can say that to me are the people I allow in to say that to me, which is quite a strong, kind of powerful thing, is it? So it's, you can be successful. You don't have to tell anybody about your success. You don't have to be shouting it all out. Sometimes, yes, you can shout it out because it will inspire other people for that reason. This is where it's grey, difficult, challenging, positive.
Yeah, I think it's a very British thing to kind of stay hush-hush and not celebrate success. And I know that, like, we have attended, like, so many personal development courses, seminars, things like that. And that's one thing that I think we took a couple of years ago. Maybe, was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? We went to our first Tony Robbins.
19.
Yeah.
April 19.
So
2 years.
2 years ago. And that was one of the things I think we took back, was to celebrate our success. And we mean, like, we celebrate everything. Like, way, we got the washing in time before it rained. Woo! Like, or like we'll do
small things.
A happy dance,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
for like loads of things. Good morning, Marisha.
Yeah.
So Louise is saying, I think house, car, job and money is what was always the achieved goal and successful in life, and yet the older I get, the more I learn. I think being happy, kind, compassionate, small goals achieved is much better goals for success. My goals have changed so much since lockdown.
Hugely. And remember that, did you use the word goals there? Remember, goals are never cast in stone. They are flexible. So, during different times, during different stages of your life, during different, experience development stages, you will have a different view, and your goals will change. So your success of what you aim for or for what you pursue will change, and it's great acknowledging that and realising that that's actually the case.
Yeah, I think exactly, and I think the reason that we thought that this was quite appropriate to speak about just now, and this was a conversation I had with two girlfriends yesterday, was that just now we can feel like we're surviving. Like you're just surviving, you're getting through it, you're not like focusing on like a bigger dream or a bigger goal or a bigger anything. Like you're just like in like this is my lot and I'm happy with that, which is a great space to be in. But equally you are allowed to like want more, or like to do more. Erin saying she loves the idea of us celebrating taking in the washing.
And isn't that funny that it's I never even thought about that.
Marisha saying, being redundant made me feel like a failure. It's really hard not to feel like that when you can't pay your bills. Are you wanting to answer that from a professional?
Definitely. Well, I mean, I think redundancy. I don't know if you've ever experienced it before, but redundancy is a grievement. You grieve, and it's like a bereavement of sorts, where you go through different stages. Of the process, shocked that it was me, shocked that it actually happened. Why me? Sort of looking at myself, thinking, is there something wrong with me? What you're saying there about feeling a failure. Did I do something wrong? Then there's things like a realization. Okay, so it's really happened. Okay, right, it's real. So you then start reviewing and changing the way that you actually look at things. You then start to say, okay, well, what do I do about it? What do I go about? Preparing your CV, updating your CV, talking to somebody. I mean, you can talk to me at any time, just to sort of talk through, mental strategies to deal with it and so forth. But also, there's the environment that you're in. You are not alone. You're not the only person that got made redundant. And now it is real because it has actually happened to you. But you're not the only person, and there's millions of people. So if you were to take that thought and say, are there a million plus failures? It's just unfortunate that the circumstances that, as Susie is saying, is the environment we're in, i.e. the pandemic, that's impacted us so greatly that. This is the time now, and you're watching what you do, blather on about with each other and stuff like that, can be, a very useful kind of tool as well. Just to kind of say, right, okay, that's it. I've acknowledged that this is where we are. Right, what do we now go and do about it? How do we take back that control of, I'm not a failure. This has happened. Right, okay, let's go and find it. Because one door closes, remember. Other ones do open. And the like, but at the same time, there's a guy said to me, doors never open, you've got to grab the handle and push it open, and that's absolutely right as well. At the same time, you make and create things.
So Marisha, it's maybe worth reaching out to Stuart and drop me a message. I can send you Stuart's email and he can maybe have a chat with you.
See, on the can't pay the bills bit, I think the quicker that we actually get in touch with the companies where we're maybe going to struggle to pay that bill, they will be far more supportive than if we kind of ignore it or hope it goes away or just let it not be paid. I think that if they know, because at the end of the day, you are not alone, as I say. So it is about you taking control and you letting these companies know. I'm struggling, I'm not going to be able to pay a bill, can we look at how we can maybe spread it? And they will be, I would imagine, by and large, with the current environment and circumstances, more than happy to have a look at that.
Yeah, I think that's entirely right. And make sure that you're reaching out for all the appropriate benefits that you're entitled to and all those things as you go through this time. Don't kind of be...
Oh, too late. Look, she's got herself a new job already.
You are so right. I've now got the
right
job, but it was meant to be. Right? Woo! Now, I hope you're celebrating that, Manisha. We're going to celebrate that for you. Wow, amazing. Okay, so there you go.
Okay.
Turn around. Manisha's saying now, yes, I did do all that and it's sorted money-wise. Sorry, I should have said that. That's okay, because maybe that conversation will have helped somebody else in the...
Here's one that Margaret's saying, Margaret Gill, she's saying, success is you, Susie. Someone who rose from the debilitating illness to the success you have today and supporting others to rise above it themselves. That is Margaret's idea of success. And she totally agrees with Louise.
Oh, thank you, my love. Thank you, my love. And yes, and I think that's it, because if it was financial gain, I wouldn't be here in this business right now, would it?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. 5 years to get to minimum wage, but hey, I love what I do, so there you go. Yes. Absolutely. So Claire over on Instagram saying, recently I've noticed I associate academic success with love. Interesting. So I am always striving to achieve because that's one of the ways I received love. That is an incredible realization, Claire. There's a book that I've actually got on my reading list. What is it called? That book that tells you like love languages, something love languages. If anybody's watching and knows, please do say. And there's been a lot of research done into that and like how we receive love, whether that is compliments, gifts, and that's an incredible acknowledgement. And I can kind of relate to that as well as an eternal student. It's like I'm always, but you know, for me, I suppose it's not because I'm looking for like that from a success point of view. I just kind of addicted to learning, I think. So yeah, that's really interesting one to kind of explore.
That could be a very deep conversation, though. That's the only thing with that. You know, in terms of you know, pursuing academics to receive love, because that's me, Scooby. I've got no love then. If it's based on academic success and achievement.
So that's the whole point, that it's defined by the person. Like, what is success to you? So is success money? Is success home? Is success freedom? Is success travel? You know, like, what does that look like for you? And change the word. If you don't like the word success, change it for whatever, you know, like Louise used goals or achievement, or like Stuart said, accomplishment of an aim or purpose. I think that's a really beautiful way to think about that. I grabbed my one of my many magic meditation books of classes I've taught, because I remembered there was an acronym I'd seen that I shared when I was teaching students at Aberdeen Uni, actually. And the acronym was for success, and I haven't actually read it before I'm going to read it out. Probably should have, never mind, just read it anyway, in my usual style.
2 feet. 2 feet with William. Susie, 2 feet.
So success, the acronym goes S, see your goal. U, understand the obstacles. C, create a positive mental picture. C, clear your mind of self-doubt. E, embrace the challenge. S, stay on track. And final S, show the world you can do it. And I actually love that. Since I've read it out, I think I'm going to put it on my wall.
Excellent.
So I don't know where I found that from. It'll have been somewhere online. That was taken from a few years ago.
It was meant for you.
But yeah, see your goal, understand the obstacles, create a positive mental picture. So visualize whatever it is you're trying to succeed at, whether that be a harmonious home, a harmonious relationship, financial abundance, health. Clear your mind of self-doubt. So kick that. We've spoken about that in other conversations, about that negative chat. Kick that negative chat. Embrace the challenge. So just go for it. There is no failure. The only failure is not trying. Stay on track and show the world you can do it. Marisha's saying, another interesting thing for me is the relationship between weight, age, and self-worth. Yeah, so
what is that relationship? In a way, the relationship between the other different factors. Does one balance out, or does one weigh the other two down? Just pardon the pun.
I think age is one. I listened to something recently, and age is a really interesting one, because often people will be like, oh, I'm too young to do this, or I'm too old to do this, or I'm like, so who sets this right time? This right time to do whatever, you know, like to party. When do you stop partying? Like, or to study? When do you stop studying? When do you
stop partying?
I don't know, when do you stop partying?
When you follow her, maybe.
You know, so, and it's the same with weight. That's another one, a bit like Claire's one. It's quite a deep thing, the relationship, you know, basing our self-worth on how we look. And I can see Camilla's on Instagram just now, and this is a topic that she's covered within the membership on confidence. Camilla's a confidence coach. Is, you know, being defined by that. You are not your weight. Like, we are so much more than this physical body that we are in, you know, and basing our worth on that. Like, I totally get that, because I've been there, and like, really, and for me it's like it's a bit of an ongoing in out relationship with me and my weight. And if it's thinking about what you've been through, like you've just mentioned, you've been through redundancy. So I know for when I wrote my book, for example, I put on a stone, and I came to the end of that, and it was like birthing. It was like birthing my baby out into the world, and I put that baby into the world, and I kind of beat myself up a bit on that, like, oh my gosh, you've put on so much weight, and blah 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 blah. But actually, like, that weight was the amalgamation of writing a book, the death of my mum, like difficult stuff we were going through. It was like a whole host of things. So to punish myself for that was so wrong, and it took a little bit of work. But yeah, it's one to kind of work through, that we're not defined by that. Margaret's saying she was made redundant twice, danced all the way home because she hated her jobs. Luckily, she didn't have any financial difficulties. Then she found a place in voluntary work that changed her life. I love that. So yeah, I think, you know, when we're made redundant, or when you have to, like, you've had to have a break before, what's it called when you can't work for a certain period of time because you've sold your company? What's that again?
Yes.
Whatever that's called.
It was ages ago. I can't remember. Yeah,
so when you've got to take a break from like what you're doing, whether that's redundancy or, you know, something else, I think that was really valuable, because it allowed you to put your life into perspective and like have more time with the family and see where things have become unbalanced. Garden leave. Well done, Louise. So yeah, like, it was actually a really important process of evaluation, like, for you. And that's what Margaret's saying, like, it opened her door. Marisha's like found this other job that she loves, and Margaret done volunteering. Louise is agreeing with the weight. She's focused on her this lockdown, and she's lost almost 2 stone. She only did it for herself, stopped focusing on everything and everyone else, and it felt really liberating. I feel incredible. Another goal successfully being smashed. Yes!
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, is, you know, at what point is weight an issue for anybody? I mean, if you realise that if you were 320 pounds and you were a major success, how would it make you feel?
Yeah. Take care, Marisha. Marisha's got to go to a meeting. She's going to watch the rest later.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
See, sumo wrestlers, you could look at them and think, oh my God, look at the size of them. However, in their environment, these guys are successful.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give that as an example because, you know, somewhere it's great to be that heavy, right? It's all about you know, acceptance.
I love your positive spin on that.
Well, I do believe at the end of the day that you can think your way out and think your way through stuff. Because to go back to what Louise is saying there is, you know, stop focusing on everything and everyone else. You know, you take control, take your own control. You know, be your own advocate. Be the person that determines whether you're successful, whether you're not successful today, not somebody else. Or, you know, you're hearing something on social media and you think, oh, I wish I was this, I wish I was that. You know, wishes never generally tend to come true. But you can set a plan out to maybe go and try and achieve it. You know, accept the responsibility of a human being to be the best that you can be and to give the best you can give. And I think that, to me, is hugely successful.
Yeah, doing your best,
and
trying.
Giving and trying your best. Because we will never always, you know, reach the light at the end of the tunnel. But in pursuit of it, you know, we can be on a journey where we can see some wonderful things and meet wonderful people, and you know, hopefully, you know, not only impact ourselves. Where Margaret's saying about she's doing charity work that's changed her life. You know, how many lives did she change by doing that charity work as well?
The impact you can make on other people
is massive. It's absolutely massive. And sometimes we just don't hear about these things. We don't know that we're having that impact. But I think we've got a duty to ourselves, a duty to our family, and a duty to everybody to be the best that we can be.
Show up for ourselves. Definitely. Exactly. We deserve to live the life that we wish to lead. And yeah, I'm laughing how much the numbers have dropped on Facebook since we spoke about sumo.
I thought we were going to get more people adding to it.
Yes. Well, wishing you all a successful day.
Yes, indeed.
May you accomplish your aims or purposes. I love that, Stu.
Yeah.
Accomplish your aims and purposes and create your own definition of success. You know, you decide what success looks like for you and then go live that, go do that. Like, you know, you don't have to be defined by somebody else's version of success, and just show up and don't give up.
Yes, indeed.
Don't give up.
And have a great day and a great week.
Awesome. Cool. So on that note,
au revoir.
Au revoir, as they say in where? Not Sumo Land.
In the Highlands.
Annette saying she loved listening today. Thanks, Annette. Thank you. Brilliant.
Right.
Okay. Love you guys, and bye. I will speak to you soon. And also, you know, I've got 2 coaching spaces coming up in March. If anybody's looking to start their coaching journey, and Stuart has coaching spaces available now. So if anybody wants to be coached by Stu, you know, we're here. And I'm laughing saying to Marisha about reaching out about redundancy and stuff. So Stuart's background is employment and recruitment. And so yeah, if anybody has any issues around that as well, wishes to connect with Stu, we're always here to chat. So yeah, have an epic day. Thanks, Louise. Thank you, Marjorie. And any topics you want us to chat about, you know, from sumo to success. I think we should call this one From Sumo to Success.
Yeah, or
sumo is success.
From sumo to success. Or success to sumo. Woo!
Okay, now we better go. Yeah. Okay, speak to you soon. Bye.
Love you, bye.
We're still here.